Hi, and welcome to this brief product tour and training video for the 3CX web client and mobile smartphone. Many of you watching this video may be interested to see the features that 3CX can offer for remote working, or perhaps already have 3CX, keen to see the features and the full capability that can be utilized. I'm going to start right from the beginning and open up an email, which is your welcome email that you receive as a user on the telephone system. Within this email, you've got all the information given to your extension number, your PIN number, which I've grayed out just for security of our system, a link to be able to have an instant meeting room with colleagues and customers, a link to the online web client, which we will see shortly, is where you can see presence, chat, video, and just fully collaborate with all of your colleagues. You've got the login details for this. Again, we've just blurred these out for security purposes. You've got the details for accessing voicemail. And then finally, down here, you've got a link which goes straight to the app to download for your relevant smartphone, whether that be an Apple iOS device or an Android device. And what we will look at later on is how when you download those apps on a smartphone, how you can simply just return to this screen and take a picture of the QR code in the setup, or alternatively, you can just simply double click on our configuration file in the email and it will load your username settings straight in. 3CX has one of the most easiest to use provisioning capabilities of any platform we've seen. So whilst there's a few username and passwords in this email, to actually get set up as a remote user, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the web client, and that's going to take us straight through to the login screen. I use a password manager, so the login credentials have been stored, but if I go back to my original email, I will be able to simply copy and paste my login details. And then I have in front of me the 3CX web client, and this is a central place to communicate with colleagues and even be able to instigate external communications all in one window. There's no software to install. It's all done through your web browser. You can use either Chrome, Safari, or the very latest version of Internet Explorer, which is also based on Chromium. I'm going to now walk you through the various elements of this software and how to use it. So first and foremost, I'll start at the very top here. We have status. We can say whether we are available, we're away, we're on do not disturb. We can select where we want our calls to go. So do we want to use a handset or do we want to use calls through the browser? We can log in and out of queues, and we'll come back a bit later. There's a universal search function. So if I wanted to perhaps find one of my colleagues, let's just say Michelle, I can type in Michelle and I'm able to see their information of Michelle. A couple of things were grayed out there just for security of the contacts. Going down the list, the first page shows all the individuals in the company, and you can separate these into different groups. So we have an all groups first page that we can come to here. We've made it really visual so we can see individuals. We've got a picture so you can quickly just glance at it and see and recognize the person you want to speak to. It's also great for new starters because getting used to people's names is quite difficult, and having a face right there is incredibly useful. You can click on a icon to call them, and that will make whatever you've designated as your device to use for speech call that extension. You can set up an instant video chat with them and video meeting. I could start chatting with them just through the chat capability, or I could instigate a full web meeting with them, which can enable us to invite multi-participants and also provide us the capability to do things like desktop sharing and remote desktop. So someone could take over my desktop and we could go through a document together, or we can share that amongst multiple people. So this is the present screen. If we go through, we've got a contacts tab, which allows us to see all of our contacts. We'll just blur this out for security purposes, but you can search for any customer. This can be linked into CRM. I'll show you on one of ours here that record has come out of CRM, so you don't necessarily have to be keeping multiple phone books. Our chat window here shows conversations both either in groups or with individuals. It's one of the strongest features of the system and something that is just so simple and intuitive to use. I'll start a new chat for you to be able to see. See, it's very familiar. We've got the ability to be able to share attachments. We can chat, we can use emojis, and it's a great way to instantly connect with people across either a remote workforce or some people in the office, out of the office. We have ability to see call history, voicemails. If you have any voicemails, we'll show in here. Conference calling and the ability to be able to do video conferencing and desktop sharing is absolutely one of the strongest features of the product. And we can have either an audio conference where people have a dial-in link and a dial-in number, so it's a proper conference bridge built in, or we can have a video and a collaborative approach. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to set up a video call. I'm going to set that for in a little bit time. I'm going to create a subject which is test meeting. Please, can you join my demo? I'm able to choose whether it's a web meeting or a webinar. One of the main differences is the ability for other people to be able to show their video or to be able to chat. So in certain scenarios, when you're broadcasting content to lots of people, you don't want necessarily everyone to be able to turn their camera on or to speak, or even in some instances be able to chat if you're running some sort of online training course, etc. At the bottom here, we've got multiple different ways to be able to invite users to this video call. So we can either use the 3CX direct email, and that allows us to type names in or import lists, or we can even elevate that to an iCal, which then as we create a meeting, as you will see, creates us a invite. Once the meeting is arranged, you simply click on the link to join that meeting, and others can also join. Call recordings equally are able to be accessed through the same interface. Through the settings tab, you're also able to change any settings for your phone and your extension, including things like call forwarding, personalization of what happens under certain different presence settings. So for example, if I'm away, what do I actually want my phone to do? Maybe I want to change the name that other people see. Maybe I want to make it so it forwards to a specific type of user. So when I'm away, I want calls that are internal to go to my mobile and external calls to go to the sales team. So all of this is configurable within your web interface. And now I'm going to show you how you run a instant meeting. So by hitting web meeting or by clicking on a link, you will automatically come to a screen which allows you to log in under your user. And through this interface that we will now see, we've got the ability to be able to invite others. So the webcam on my laptop to the side here has brought up myself. If I invite multiple people now, we would see squares on the screen and we'll be able to have a full video call. I can click on a button to start recording. I'm also able to turn the camera off. I'm able to so let's try that. I'm also able to mute the microphone. I can share my screen to show others how to use that. And then I'm able, if I just want to create a quick meeting, maybe I haven't scheduled it, I can go into WebMeeting, I can copy the meeting link, and I can send that in an email, and it will allow others to join. So just to paste it down here to show you in the chat box, a link will like this can be sent, and anyone can simply click on that as long as they've got Chrome or Safari. They'll be able to join that meeting without having to have a registration, a login, or any special software or pay any money. So you're able to have full video conferencing with desktop sharing, with video, with chat, and have the ability to be able to run webinars with both your internal colleagues and externally without any other person needing to have any sort of subscription or any real know-how apart from just clicking on a link and joining in. Okay, so now we're going to show how you use the 3CX smartphone app on either a Apple iOS device or an Android device. The process is super easy and simple. So if you've got work email on your phone, you simply navigate to the welcome email and you can click on the relevant iOS or Android link. If you don't have work email, just simply search for 3CX in the App Store. It's a simple matter of clicking to download the application. That'll take literally a few seconds to download. Open the 3CX application when it downloads. There's now going to be 3 or 4 permissions that it seeks for you to enable. The first one is to send notifications, which is the phone ringing. If you'd like to access the microphone, yes, we would. the camera, yes we would, and your contacts. Once you've enabled all of those permissions, you can simply push scan QR code, which will open the camera on the back of the phone. And then if we go back to our PC or laptop and we bring up the QR code, as soon as the camera sees the QR code, it will get all the user registration details automatically from the QR code. There's not a single username and password to put in. It automatically sets your app up for you, and this now is able to be used as your primary work phone. It's super simple from a perspective of being able to see all the extensions internally. I can click on a user, I can call their extension, call their mobile, do a conference call, I can chat with them through this app. I've got my smartphone address book and also the work corporate phone book all augmented into one under contacts. I can simply type in a phone number. I can change the presence to show them away or unavailable. I've got my recent call history shown, and I've also got chat enabled in here. I can instigate a conference call. I can go into settings. It's really intuitive and easy to use, and as simple and straightforward as that. So I'll now hand back over to the web meeting to finish this product demo. So that's the quick product tour. There's a number of areas of detail that I could go into, but for the purpose of this session, just wanted to give a quick highlight for you to be able to see just how powerful 3CX is, the capability that it has, and we will be launching other videos which can go into more specific detail on certain elements of what you've seen today, so look out for those videos. Thanks for joining, and good luck with your 3CX journey.